This is a budget HomeKit light strip, and this is a premium HomeKit light strip that's double the price. Both are set to blue and 100% brightness. And as you can probably tell, the budget brand looks more accurate and brighter than the premium, more expensive brand. So you're probably asking yourself, should I go with a budget or a premium light strip for my smart home? Well, in this video, we're going to be comparing budget to premium HomeKit light strips and seeing if paying more is worth it. We'll be looking at 7 popular brands of HomeKit budget and premium light strips. Starting on the budget end and going up in price, we have the VOCOlinc LS3 Color Flux, the Onvis Kameleon K1, the Tapo by TP-Link, and the very popular Nanoleaf Essentials. On the premium end, we'll be looking at the Eve light strip, the LIFX, and the Big Daddy Philips Hue. Now, full disclosure, TP-Link and VOCOlinc sent me out their light strips for a review, but as always, I'm going to let you guys know my honest thoughts about these devices. And at the end of the video, I will show you which HomeKit light strip that I personally use all throughout my HomeKit smart home. And it's not who you might expect. Now, when comparing light strips, it essentially comes down to 5 key categories that showcase the similarities and the differences between the light strips. The first category to compare is physical design. Most of these light strips start at about 6 to 6.5 feet, except for TP-Link and VOCOlinc, which start at about 16.4 feet, allowing for a better value. All of these light strips can be cut to your desired length and have a dedicated section where they can be cut. But once they're cut, they cannot be extended. Only Onvis and TP-Link are not able to be extended whether you cut them or not. So you're set with the length that you buy. Whereas all the other light strips can be extended, so you can get just the right length that you need, up to about 33 feet. Now, the build quality on these light strips is quite different. All of these HomeKit light strips are rated for indoor use only, and most of the budget models feature a protective coating that allows for water and dust resistance on the light strip only and not on the power supply. So you could use these light strips in a bathroom, on a wall, or in a kitchen near a sink. Budget brand Nanoleaf and premium brands Eve, LIFX, and Philips Hue all have no water resistance on their light strip. But Philips Hue does sell outdoor rated weatherproof light strips, and again, this water resistance is only on the light strip itself and not on the power supply. And speaking of power supply, very few brands have physical controls on the power supply to control the light strip. TP-Link and VOCOlinc have buttons to control the power. Onvis can control the power and change the color, but Nanoleaf can control everything: the power, change colors, and adjust the brightness. I'm surprised the premium light strip brands like Philips Hue, LIFX, and Eve don't have any physical way to control the light strip. The second category to consider is what special features do you get with these light strips. Now, if you're wanting to use these light strips in HomeKit, then you can just use the Apple Home app to control the power, the brightness, and the color. But by using the manufacturer's app, that does give you access to software updates and special features, like multiple colors displaying at one time on a light strip. More on that later. And special effects that can be synced to the Home app, but not created in the Home app. The Onvis app is pretty basic, nothing fancy, is pretty easy to adjust any of the colors or the brightness. Now, what I really like is all these special effects that this light strip has. My favorite is this security scene that flashes red, white, and blue. And this scene can be synced to the Home app from within the app and used in automations. So like when a door is open and you're not at home, to help deter intruders. The VOCOlinc is easy to adjust the color as well, but also allows you to really fine tune the color and white hue to your liking. They also have these cool effects like breathe and candle. These effects don't sync to HomeKit natively. However, the features are exposed in third-party HomeKit apps like Home+4 that can be then synced to the Home app, but it does take a couple of extra steps. Nanoleaf is similar to the VOCOlinc app with customizable color hues and offers a ton of pre-made scenes. And there's an extensive library with more to download for free. And the best part is that all of these scenes are automatically synced to the Home app as well. TP-Link's app layout is really nice. It's easy to use with buttons and has smooth animations when it's turning on and off. And the light strip even has energy monitoring, something no other HomeKit light strip has. There's also some cool pre-made effects like this icicle and raindrop. Unfortunately, these effects are not exposed in any third-party apps or in HomeKit, so you have to manually turn these effects on, which to me is very inconvenient. My least favorite app in this video is the Eve app. It's fairly simple to control the power, the brightness, and the color, though I find it not nearly as easy or intuitive as budget apps like Nanoleaf or TP-Link. TP-Link. I really like how easy the Philips Hue and the LIFX app are to use. The Philips Hue app has a large, easy to use color and white palette. Brightness and power are super simple to use as well. There's an effects gallery with various effects to choose from that can be synced to the Home app as well. Now what's even easier to use is the LIFX app, and this is by far my favorite app to use. I really like this wheel design over the palette design with Philips Hue. There's haptic feedback as you're changing the colors, the brightness, the power. There's also a gallery of special effects to choose from, and these can be synced over to HomeKit. The third category to look at, and one that you're probably the most curious about, is the color accuracy and the brightness. And this is where you'll notice the biggest differences between budget and premium light strips. The more expensive brands typically have more lumens and are brighter than the budget brands, but surprisingly there's one budget brand that easily competes with the most expensive brands, and that's Nanoleaf. Nanoleaf is the brightest on the market with 2,200 lumens, which is brighter than Eve at 1,800, Philips Hue at 1,600, and LIFX at 1,400 lumens. These light strips are extremely bright and can easily light up an entire room. Budget light strip brands are still fairly bright, with TP-Link coming in at 1,000 lumens. TP-Link uses an LED technology called RGBWIC, which essentially has extra white LEDs that gives you a brighter and a cleaner white lighting. Onvis and VOCOlinc don't share how many lumens their light strip has, but I'm gonna guess and say Onvis is about 800 lumens and VOCOlinc is about 700 lumens. Nanoleaf and Eve do a good job at getting dim. Philips Hue, VOCOlinc, and Onvis are the dimmest. TP-Link and LIFX are the brightest at 1%. Moving on to the colors of these light strips, this is where things get really interesting. Starting off with red, all these light strips are accurate and about the same. I will say though that Nanoleaf and Eve aren't as bright when it comes to colors. Next is green, and I was shocked to see so many different hues of green. Budget brands TP-Link and VOCOlinc are rich and vivid, very close to the green of Philips Hue. All the other brands are more of a lighter green, with budget brand Onvis and premium brand LIFX being the lightest green out there. Blue is very accurate and rich on all the light strips. Budget brand Nanoleaf and VOCOlinc and more expensive brands Eve and Philips Hue are all not as bright as budget brands like TP-Link and Onvis, which is quite surprising to see. And what you also find surprising is the brands of light strips that I used in the intro of this video. I used budget brand Onvis and premium brand Eve, costing twice as much as Onvis, but the blue isn't just as accurate or bright. The fourth category to consider with light strips is addressable versus non-addressable. And this is one particular feature that really makes the budget brands stand out from the premium. Addressable means the light strip can be multiple colors at once, and you can paint your favorite colors on the light strip. Non-addressable means the light strip can only be one color at a time. So by having an addressable light strip, you're really able to customize the color to your liking. Budget brands Onvis, TP-Link, and VOCOlinc all have addressable light strips, and LIFX is the only premium brand that is addressable. TP-Link has a whopping 50 color zones that can be painted. Onvis has 20, LIFX has 16, and VOCOlinc has 10. The more color zones there are, the more of a variety of colors you can have at once. As cool as this is, the painting feature is only available in the manufacturer's app, and some apps are way easier to use than others. Although TP-Link has the most color zones, there's a catch that I'll explain later on that makes this light strip hard to recommend for HomeKit. Starting off with the budget brand Onvis, I found the Onvis app to be the easiest to paint colors, and it shows you a live view while you're painting. But it's a little confusing because whenever you tap a section, a different section lights up as well, so it's hard to get something like the bottom row only. My favorite part is once you get the colors you like set, you can easily add these paintings to HomeKit as scenes. The VOCOlinc app gives you more color and white temperature options, but it has this strange curvy layout that makes it a little bit difficult to paint. Like, why can this line not be straight like it is with Onvis? And then you have to tap each one that you want to paint. You can't swipe along the strip to select multiple zones at once like with Onvis. This color layout cannot be synced to the Home app, which is a bummer. And what's also a bummer is how the TP-Link app works. In the TP-Link app, you have to first pre-create the color layout. Then the light strip will display how the colors look. The light strip won't show you a live view of the colors that you're painting on the light strip while you're painting in the app, which which can lead to a frustrating experience having to keep adjusting the colors after you've already colored in the zones. Whereas with Onvis, VOCOlinc, and even LIFX that show you a live view of how the colors look by tapping or sliding. To make matters worse for TP-Link, although they have the most amount of color zones, just like the TP-Link effects, these paintings don't sync to the home app. The premium brand LIFX is fairly easy to paint, though you are limited on color selection, but this light setup can be synced to HomeKit as a scene. So if you're looking for an addressable HomeKit light strip, I'd recommend either Onvis or LIFX, as these are the only brands that allow you to sync your paintings to HomeKit and use in your scenes. Since brands like Philips Hue, Eve, and Nanoleaf are not addressable, this does make the addressable light strips provide a bit more value. You know what else provides value? That's right, money. But where do you store all your money? Oh, that's right, in a wallet. And the folks over at Ekster Wallets sent over the craziest wallets that I have ever seen. They have this button on the side that will fan out all your cards with one click, making it super quick and easy to grab the card you need right away. And not only that, these wallets have a RFID blocking layer, so you don't have to worry about somebody trying to skim your credit card details. Ekster has wallets in all different colors and materials that you can choose from, so you can really find one that you like. Here I have one made from leather, the Stennett Steel Blue. This one is made from space-grade aluminum that's very durable. And my personal favorite, the carbon fiber. And this wallet looks incredible with my Apple Card. These wallets can store anywhere from 1 to 15 cards, and oftentimes more in the back. So when you're out shopping for the next smart home device, don't forget your Ekster wallet so you can easily whip out your card and upgrade your smart home. Shop now and save up to 25% using offer code AdamsTechLife at the checkout, or go to shop.ekster.com/AdamsTechLife to automatically receive your discount. And thanks to Ekster for sponsoring today's video. The final category to consider between these light strips is what smart home platform do they work with and what features do you get with them. Most HomeKit compatible light strips work with Amazon and Google as well. Nanoleaf only works with HomeKit and Google, and Eve is HomeKit exclusive. Philips Hue works with way more smart home platforms like Spotify and SmartThings. Being this is a HomeKit focused video, we'll just be looking at what these light strips can do in the Apple Home app. All of these light strips have the same features in the Apple Home app, but there's a couple of brands that offer something unique. All of these light strips support a single light attribute. You can tap the tile to turn the strip on or off, and if you press and hold on the tile, then you can change the icon to better represent the light. And here you can adjust the brightness and change the color and white temperature, or you can tell Siri to change the color or brightness as well. Some brands have this little sun icon that has different white hues. This is called adaptive lighting, and compatible lights will automatically adjust the white temperature throughout the day so that your lights match daylight and make it easier on your eyes. Unfortunately, you're not able to change the brightness, the white temperature, or the time of day that the lights change colors. But you can easily recreate this manually with any brand of HomeKit light strip just by using scheduled scenes. This way you can choose the brightness, the temperature you prefer, and the time of day. If you want to use the adaptive lighting, then there are a few budget brands that support this feature like VOCOlinc and Nanoleaf. On the premium side, Philips Hue and Eve support adaptive lighting, but LIFX does not support this feature. When it comes to reliability, these light strips have all been reliable and have not had any issues with the connection with any of them. They all connect to the internet in different ways by using different protocols that does affect the overall performance. Most of the light strips in this video connect over Wi-Fi and don't require any kind of additional bridge or hub, but there are two brands that do and are worth taking a look at. First is Nanoleaf, and it uses the newer connection of Thread, which creates a mesh network with a wider range, faster response times, and better reliability than using regular Wi-Fi. This does require a HomePod Mini or Apple TV in order for Thread to work. Otherwise, Nanoleaf will default to the slow and less reliable connection of Bluetooth. In day-to-day use with Nanoleaf, I noticed it responded a couple seconds faster when turning on or changing the colors when compared to Wi-Fi only light strips. It's not a huge difference, but definitely comes in handy when controlling with Siri or running your scenes. The Eve light strip does not support Thread, unlike there are many other Thread-enabled devices, but Eve is the only HomeKit brand that offers the strongest level of privacy. No account is needed to use Eve devices, and the data is stored locally and not in the cloud, allowing for a fully encrypted connection between your HomeKit hub and Eve devices, whereas some brands rely on a bridge or hub for remote access. And speaking of a bridge or hub, Philips Hue requires their Philips Hue bridge for all their products, for remote access and to work with HomeKit. HomeKit. Their lights communicate with the bridge over a Zigbee network, which provides better range and faster response times. It's very similar to Thread as far as the response times, though it's honestly hard to tell a difference in speed since Philips Hue slowly fades in when it's on and slowly fades out when it's off, whereas other light strips just come on right away, so it's really hard to tell a difference in the speed. Now, out of all the light strips in this video, my personal favorite is the Onvis Kameleon K1. I've got them scattered all throughout my house, and there's a couple of reasons why I prefer Onvis over other brands. The first reason is that they are affordable, so I'm able to buy more at one time. And second, I love that it's addressable. This makes for a great and immersive experience when watching movies or shows to really set the mood. Plus, the Onvis app is easy to create effects and sync to the Home app as scenes. And Onvis works well and responds fast in HomeKit. I've been using them for over a year now, and they've only been unresponsive a handful of times. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. Here are 4 HomeKit light strips that you should avoid and 3 that you should buy. Thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.